Dragon's Lance is a newly formed mercenary company in the city-state of Waterdeep. The company consists exclusively of the members of the founding family, their associates, and allies. It provides protection services against the most formidable threats in the realms, exploration of dangerous areas, locating and recovering items and people, among other activities. The founding family, the Veragons, has uncertain origins. Rumors indicate that its members are descendants of the high nobility of a distant kingdom obliterated by a war between dragons, and they arrived in Waterdeep as refugees in the distant past. Upon their arrival, the Veragons used their existing resources to purchase a significant portion of the titles and rights they still hold today. The family's initial fortune was entirely invested in the creation of the Twin Moons Merchant Company of Waterdeep and in acquiring the rights to explore the main trade routes to the Moonshae Isles. They also purchased a local merchant nobility title and built a fortress north of the Sword Coast called Thornhole. Since their arrival, the reputation of the founding family has been marked by secrets, mutual distrust, and internal and external intrigues that have cost them almost all their prestige. Members of this family are generally known to be suspicious, secretive, and closed off from other families in the society of Waterdeep, largely due to the historical figure of their eccentric patron. The family's patron was a human warrior named Uragus Veragon, an aggressive, bitter, and reclusive man suffering from intense chronic pains stemming from a severe and unknown illness. After undergoing intense magical treatment, Uragus began to be seen in public on rare occasions, always accompanied by his loyal advisor Thessalana, a human mage. In reality, Uragus was a dragon born from a bear, the first general and consort of the dragon queen Hamanu. He underwent a painful magical process to alter his body to pass as a native human of Tarrio. He led the survivors of his people to Waterdeep to establish themselves until the time came to free Hamanu from her secret refuge. Despite being a grumpy and reclusive man, Uragus was always very interested in the internal affairs of Waterdeep and sought to carve out a space for himself and his family within the local society. He used the vast resources brought by his family for this purpose, arousing various interests and suspicions around him from the beginning. A few years after completing his treatment, Uragus married the noble half-elf Leohra Adabrent in the same year as the founding of the Twin Moons Merchant Company of Waterdeep, initiating the family's enduring mercantile legacy. The Twin Moons of Waterdeep thrived for centuries with trade along the western routes of the Sword Coast, attracting alliances and rivalries driven by greed. The intrigues worsened after the death of Leohra while giving birth to the three eldest, Elmut, Corbin, and Sheo. The Duchess's death nearly led to a commercial war, which was only appeased by the concession that Elmut be raised by the grandparents of the Adabrant family. 6 years after Leohra's death, Uragus married Irina Mara Klaus, who provided him with 2 heirs, Galen and Arnus. The new marriage solidified peace in the family and the mercantile company for the next generations. Henceforth, the family's prosperity was gained decade after decade until rumors of involvement with foreign invaders were used by rivals to wrest control of the mercantile company and seize their commercial rights, leading to financial ruin. Rumors suggest that the Veragon family had close ties and loyalties to the sorceress Hamanu, who attacked Waterdeep in the recent past. Despite the commercial interests always being present in its history, the primary overarching motivation of the Veragons has always revolved around the decisions of a mysterious society established even before the arrival of the first refugees in the lands of Waterdeep. According to rumors, this druidic secret society controls the family and is frequented only by their most intimate members or allies. The secret society is, in fact, an order of paladins known as the Knights of the True Dragon, founded by Dagak and dedicated to protecting the world from magical and mundane excesses that may threaten it. The order was originally led by Uragus until his death. After his death, Thessalana assumed leadership of the order and decided never to free Hamanu, converting her refuge into a secret prison. Currently, the order is under the leadership of Deltragos Veragon, Irina's great-grandson, a human. After losing control of their mercantile company, The family founded the mercenary company Dragon's Lance to operate beyond the reach of the Waterdeep families, while seeking to prove their innocence and regain control over their mercantile rights. However, the family's leadership has suffered a serious setback with the conflict between two Veragons. The leadership of Deltragos and the Order of the Knights of the True Dragon is being challenged by Ysander Veragon, a half-elf, and the commander of the Dragon's Lance, Lohara's grandson. Many believe that Ysander has greater legitimacy than Deltragos due to his recent successes. The core of the dispute lies in the command of the mercenary company and control of the family, but it could lead to an absolute change in the nature of the family, its operations in the northern lands, and the organizations under its control. The outcome of this internal conflict may have far-reaching consequences for the Veragon family and the entities associated with it. The blood of Uragas carries remnants of his magically altered nature, and many of his closest descendants bear afflictions known as dragon marks in the form of draconic deformities. Deltragos, for instance, has one blind eye, its disturbing appearance resembling a dragon's eye, always covered by an eye patch. Other descendants may display traces of scales, deformed limbs with an inhuman appearance, difficulties in speech, and so on. Meanwhile, some show no apparent signs of their draconic heritage. These physical manifestations of their lineage add an additional layer of complexity to the family's dynamics and the ongoing internal conflict.